The portrayal of LGBTQ+ characters in cinema has long been a source of heated debate, particularly when those characters are twisted into killers or villains. Time and again, classic and cult horror flicks have served up these characters in a way that's linked queerness with being a psychotic, violent asshole, or worse, a fucking pervert. These fucked up stereotypes have shaped decades of horror, even when these characters leave their mark on the genre and its fans. So, let's dive into the top 10 LGBTQ+ killers in cinema, from weird-ass cross-dressing slashers to absolute psychopaths with zero moral compass. Number 10. Glenda, Seed of Chucky, 2004. In Seed of Chucky, we meet Glenda, the fucked-up offspring of two notorious killers, Chucky and Tiffany. This poor bastard of a character is constantly torn between two personas, Glenn, the softer, gentler soul, and Glenda, the murderous maniac. Glenda's got some serious issues, and their struggle with gender identity adds an unexpected complexity to the Chucky franchise. While this horror comedy doesn't take itself too damn seriously, it throws in a pretty wild LGBTQ+ narrative, dealing with gender fluidity and the frustration of not fitting into a neat little box. Number 9. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, 1995. Leatherface is the goddamn icon of horror, known for chasing people down with a chainsaw and wearing their skin. But in The Next Generation, Leatherface is portrayed in a way that makes him even more confusing. In this version, Leatherface cross-dresses, giving him a feminized appearance while he's, cutting people into little bits. Does it make him more scary? Probably. But that's the point. The movie uses this cross-dressing side of Leatherface to throw in a little gender confusion, making the audience think, oh shit, this guy's not just a killer, he's a weird-ass cross-dresser too. But it's yet another film that links gender nonconformity to mental instability and violence, just lazy, ass-backward storytelling that's been done to death. Number 8. Aileen Wuornos, Monster, 2003. Charlize Theron's portrayal of Aileen Wuornos in Monster is some next-level shit. Aileen, who murdered 7 men, is a tragic character driven by trauma and abuse. What makes this movie stand out is that it doesn't shy away from showing her humanity. She's a complex figure, even if she's fucked up beyond repair. Her relationship with Selby, a woman, brings in a strong LGBTQ+ narrative. Number 7. Jeffrey Dahmer, 2002. Jeremy Renner as Jeffrey Dahmer is creepy as hell. Dahmer, a gay man who slaughtered and dismembered 17 young men, is one of the most notorious serial killers in history. The film Dahmer tries to get into his fucked up head, exploring his loneliness, inability to connect with people, and his twisted desires. The problem? It connects his queerness to his insane level of violence, necrophilia, and cannibalism. The movie treads a fine line but ultimately ends up reinforcing that annoying-ass idea that gay men are predators, or that there's something inherently dangerous about them. It's more than problematic, it's downright bullshit. Number 6. Marie, High Tension, 2003. High Tension serves up a seriously bloody and tense thriller. Marie and Alex are attacked by a sadistic killer, but by the end of the film, there's a twist. Marie is the fucking killer. And surprise, it's her suppressed lesbian desire for Alex that drives her into a homicidal rage. The message here is pretty fucking clear. Queer desire equals violence. It's not just a dangerous stereotype, it's insulting as hell. It's the same played-out narrative that suggests LGBTQ+ people are dangerous freaks if they're not able to fully express their desires. Number 5. Bobby, Dressed to Kill, 1980. Brian De Palma's Dressed to Kill stirred up a shitstorm back in the day, mainly because of how it handles gender and sexuality. The killer is Dr. Robert Elliott, a psychiatrist who flips into his alter ego Bobby, a transgender woman who murders people. Here's the kicker. Bobby's gender identity is wrapped up in her psychosis. She's portrayed as violent and unhinged, reinforcing that stupid-ass idea that being transgender equals crazy or dangerous. Bobby's violent outbursts are part of her identity crisis, which just adds fuel to the fire of transphobic stereotypes. And yeah, it pissed off a lot of people, for damn good reason. Number 4. Buffalo Bill, The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. One of the most infamous queer-coded killers in film is Buffalo Bill. This psychopath kidnaps women and skins them to make himself a woman's suit. It's one of the most disturbing depictions of gender nonconformity ever put on film, and it's a fucking problem. Though the film tries to say Bill isn't truly transgender, it doesn't fucking matter. Buffalo Bill's depiction is forever linked to harmful stereotypes about trans people being dangerous or deranged. The film may be a classic, but it's done some serious damage when it comes to the way transgender people are seen. Number 3. Emily, Homicidal, 1961. Homicidal might not be as well known, but it's one twisted-ass movie. The film's villain, Emily, turns out to be Warren, a man disguising himself as his sister. It's a classic split personality trope, where gender confusion is tied directly to insanity. Emily/Warren's identity issues are used as a plot twist, but it's another example of a film equating cross-dressing or gender fluidity with psychosis. It's cheap, lazy, and relies on societal fears about anyone who doesn't fit into the rigid-ass gender binary. Number 2. Angela Baker, Sleepaway Camp, 1983. Sleepaway Camp is fucking nuts. The film builds up to its big reveal. Angela, the shy girl everyone thinks they know, is actually biologically male. The last shot, with Angela standing there naked and covered in blood, is meant to shock the shit out of the audience. It implies that Angela's murderous behavior is tied to her hidden gender identity, which is just offensive as hell. Number 1. Norman Bates, Psycho, 1960. Norman fucking Bates is the OG of all horror movie killers. In Psycho, he dresses up as his dead mother and slashes anyone who gets in his way. It's a masterful performance, but damn, does it mess with people's perceptions of gender nonconformity. Norman's cross-dressing is used to highlight his mental instability, and it paved the way for decades of horror films linking gender fluidity with psychopathy. From Glenda to Norman Bates, these LGBTQ+ killers have left a bloody mark on horror cinema. And while these characters are memorable, they're also wrapped in stereotypes that continue to damage how LGBTQ+ people are seen in the real fucking world. Horror, for all its thrills, often ends up pushing society's darkest fears, but that doesn't mean it has to keep feeding audiences the same old tired-ass bullshit about queer and trans people. It's time for some new stories, ones that don't resort to the same goddamn harmful cliches.